Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth,
Avelina.
and we're here today with the second part of our who wrote it better, who writes it better, who would write it better. Come on, whatever that tag is. Basically, you make up a bunch of premises for books, then you take a bunch of authors you like or don't like or whatever, and you put their names in cups. So I have the premises right here. Elena has the authors right there. I pick one of these for every two of those, and we'll decide who would write that book better. Okay, so here we go. The first premise is going to be a flower that finds itself in the wrong pot. They have to make friends with the other plants in this pot. So, like a rose finds itself in a pot of climbing ivy or something. They have to make friends with the other plants in the pot. So my two authors are Cynthia Hand, who is one of the authors in the My Lady Janie's group, and Neil Gaiman. I think Cynthia Hand would do a good job, but this sounds like something that Neil Gaiman would turn into a beautiful portrayal of life and weirdness. So I'm going to go with Neil Gaiman for the flower in the wrong pot story. All right, next up. Are you picking yours out?
Yeah, I already choose mine.
You already chose two of yours? All right, so mine says a sci-fi adventure featuring a germaphobe on a spaceship.
Mine's green glitter.
There are green glitter, yes. Sarah Milnowski and her buddies. So either her by herself or her and Lauren Miracle and the other one, I can't ever remember. They write Upside Down Magic, which is my favorite middle grade series. And then the other one is J.R.R. Tolkien. So do I think Tolkien or do I think Milnowski? As much as I would love to see Tolkien's spin on a germaphobe who's riding around in a packed spaceship, I think this is probably more of a job for Sarah Milnowski and possibly her buddies from
I choose that one.
Sarah Milnowski. All right. And possibly her buddies from the Upside Down Magic series. All right. Next.
Mine's stuck in here.
Yours is stuck.
Okay.
All right, so a steampunk contemporary romance set in a small southern town. It's a whole lot of tropes right there. Steampunk contemporary romance set in a small southern town, either written by Nancy Atherton, who I think writes cozy mysteries, or J.K. Rowling.
I think J.K. Rowling.
You think J.K. Rowling wrote the Harry Potter books?
Yay! I
So,
vote for him.
Her.
I
You
vote
think
for her.
you think she could write a good steampunk contemporary romance in a small southern town?
Yeah, because she writes those
She,
books, and I really like these books, so I think it's
yeah,
her
you liked
doing
the Sorcerer's Stone when we listened to it, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it was so good. I almost was going to cry.
Raising the next generation. All right. Next one. The premise is a woman who must find a job, but she literally does not know anything she's capable of doing. The authors are Nora Roberts or Asia Citro. All right, Nora Roberts writes all sorts of adult, from contemporary to magical to thriller, etc. Asia Citro writes this really amazing children's chapter book series called Zoe and Sassafras about a little girl and her cat, and they have a magic doorbell in their barn, and magical creatures from the forest come to them and they help them out with problems, which is amazing and wonderful.
I love those.
And she loves those. But I think
They're
Nora
so
Roberts,
good.
I think Nora Roberts could probably do better justice to the woman who doesn't know what she's doing in life. Alrighty then. Okay, so our next one is a girl whose hat comes to life and will not let her take it off of her head no matter what. So she winds up like showering in it and going to class in it, and her hair's growing up under it. And our two authors are
Here's the first one.
Derek Friedolfs, who is the author of the graphic novel series about the DC young superheroes I've been reading, and
I got that one.
Rick Riordan. Um, you know, I think Rick would do a really good job with it, but I think Derek Friedolfs would make an awesome graphic novel out of this hat that won't leave the girl's
I
head.
chooses that one.
The guy who does the graphic novels. Yes. All right. So we're going with Derek Friedolfs, hopefully with Dustin Nguyen.
But
Hopefully with his buddy Dustin, who does the artwork for the series I'm reading by them right now. Moving along. All right. The next premise is a single mom who falls for her Manny, who turns out to be an alpha werewolf. And this is the most cringiest, tropiest of trope-filled romance novels. Our two competing authors are Ty Keller, whose debut novel was a middle grade, a heart-wrenching contemporary, or Drew DeWalt, who wrote the true story of Rock, Paper, Scissors, which is one of our favorite picture books.
yeah, I picked it up. Like
I'm
30
gonna
times.
say that Ty Keller could probably figure this out, but yeah, I don't think either one of those is gonna just make the tropiest of trope-filled romances for me. Ty Keller could probably get there. Moving along. Moving right along, footloose and fancy free.
Oh, come on.
What, you don't want me singing? Fine. The next premise is a Scooby-Doo type mystery farce featuring an adult off-Broadway troupe. And our two competing authors are John Grisham and K.A. Holt. I'm going to go with K.A. Holt for this one. I don't know why. I don't think
Can't hold for me.
I don't know. I just think that maybe John Grisham wouldn't do that great of a job making it as farcical as I would like. So I don't know. Maybe John Grisham. I don't know. Who would you guys go for? K.A. Holt or John Grisham for the Scooby Doo farce mystery with an off Broadway troupe? Let me know in the comments down below. All right.
There's our first author.
Oh, that is not an author. That is a premise. I put in the wrong cup. So our premise is nonfiction early reader, and our authors are either Matt De La Pena or
Do I
Elliot
just
James.
both or
So Elliot James writes an adult urban fantasy series, I guess you would call it, that I really like, and Matt De La Pena does like picture books. So Matt De La Pena is going to write the nonfiction early reader for us. Yeah, moving right along.
moving right along from scissors to paper to rock.
Are you making up your own song now? All right. Ooh, a Crazy Cat Lady mystery series. All right, Crazy Cat
We
Ladies.
had the three cats, and
We
they're
do.
always cuckoo.
They are cuckoo.
They're
But
cuckoo
let's see
crazy.
who's gonna write this cuckoo crazy cat lady mysteries. Jane Austen or Caroline Keene. Well, Caroline Keene wrote the Nancy Drew mysteries and they're still writing them. Ghostwriters are writing under her name.
Yay!
So we're gonna go with Caroline Keene for that one.
I
All
hate
right.
the
Yeah. You like Nancy Drew.
games. And her books.
Yes, and her books. All right, a
It's
paranormal friendship a la Buffy. So a Buffy type protagonist and her paranormal friendships, either by A. Milne, who wrote the poetry books. Now we are 6, and then we were 5, and I don't even, and Winnie the Pooh, that guy. And
Oh, come
also
on, now
the
Winnie
other
the
author is
Pooh.
Meg Cabot. So I'm going to go with Meg Cabot. She writes across all sorts of age levels and genres, and I really liked her new adult / adult cozy mystery series. So we're gonna go with her. Moving right on. I'm gonna say moving right along about 8 more times, just so you know.
Moving right along from
Footloose
paper
and
to
fancy free. A classic 1940s
moving
noir
along
featuring the Egyptian
from
gods running a
picture to
speakeasy in New
paper.
Orleans.
Correct. It's out there.
By Diane Duane, the author of the Young Wizard series, or Emma Carroll, who is actually just finished up writing a book or recently finished and released a book about the Egyptian gods. So she's already got that research down. I'd love to see her branch out of the middle grade young adult area and write a new adult to adult 1940s noir. We still have a few premises and authors left, but we're going to go ahead and cut this second part off and make a third part to this video series because we're having a lot of fun doing it. And we don't want to have to cut out a bunch just to make the video shorter. So we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. Make sure
Goodbye.
make sure that if you like this video, you give us a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and let us know which authors you would pick for each of these premises. And if you want to write the stories that we have the premises of, go for it. Just make sure you dedicate the book to us. We'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.
Bye bye.